Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to Gladiator Manager. We're on episode number 13. We're up against the 8th place side in Pistoria, but even though it's the 8th place side, they actually do have a decent selection of fighters. They don't have too many that are out injured, just 4. And it does look like one of them is a pretty decent fighter when they're healthy. The others, not quite as much, but you can see the amount of usage they've had, and that group is fairly balanced outside of one of them anyway, in terms of their win-loss record. You can see this is their throwaway fighter when they know they're going to lose. And that could be the case today as we go into this one, that they could be throwing a couple out there who are there for losses alone. But if they sent out their best 4, they could put up a decent challenge. Percival here has pretty solid fighter. And then Aulis is pretty decent. And, you know, they could put together a decent team that if we go too soft on them and they come out strong, we're definitely taking some risk. So we're going to minimize that risk. We're going to put in 3 of our best fighters. Still not rid of Vicious, though. Still able to hang on to rid of Vicious. Servilia, this is her first fight, and Servilia is... Servilia is good for 15 fights. So she'll be around for a while. We don't need to worry about losing her early. And then, of course, Corrado and Elia, no loss by bringing them in, as they are citizens, and, you know, they're going to be around for the long term. Domitia, continuing on with is a tolerable fighter, is okay, can handle. They certainly can't put more than 3 good fighters together, so we'll at least match up there, and the others should exceed whatever they put. So even if they go strong, we'll still have an advantage. With Domitia out there, we won't be quite as strong, but she's down to her last 5 fights, and you know, we're working on that. And I'd rather use her up than Ridovicius and his final 2, because I don't think they can go that good, that strong. They go very weak in Gala. Kira, not super weak, but definitely weak. Nika is weak, and they went weak. Okay, they knew we could definitely put a strong group together, and so they've adjusted accordingly. So we have, let's see, leader gets defender advantage. So we want to get you out here on a gladiator, and then leader. Let's see, gladiator. Rotarius, good. We have that one. The others don't matter, other than that a gladiator would have an advantage. We have no gladiator here, so yeah, there you go. Everybody aggressive. We'll go after him. This is a weaker group, so coming in aggressively, and let's go quickly through this. Cordoba taking a loss. They were the ones in 3rd place entering the round. We can also see a clearly, fairly evenly matched field outside of Nisus and us. Clear top 2 teams, at least at this point in the season, and they should be the one we're going to be going up against next. So we head into our first matchup against Nisus. It's also the last one of the sequence of playing against everyone. So that means we're gonna end the season with Nisus, and depending on how things are going, we still could be neck and neck at that point. They have everyone available to them. They've only lost a couple of fighters directly in battles so far this season. So they, like us, are 8-0. And I'm afraid of them as a 4v4, as they are deep. Catula is pretty good. Thurza is pretty good. Kiefer is, yeah, he's okay. Penrod, as predicted, is pretty good, but not as good as I expected for the 6-0 veteran, meaning they're probably pretty old and they're going to deteriorate as the season goes on. Plancina is pretty good. They have options, but what I don't see, though Thurza might be the exception, I don't see any one of those that's necessarily better than either Elia or Animatia. I'm thinking Animatia is still a step below Elia. The initiative certainly goes to Animatia. The bravery, slight edge, but the strength and the agility piece, the toughness, the discipline, all heavily favored towards Elia. The skill, especially, Animatia's problem obviously is she keeps dropping her sword over and over again. So Elia is going to get into the ring. Animatia, who's back and healthy, which is great. We're going to save her for a future round. Going with Elia, right? Their strongest was Thyrza. Let's see, how does Thyrza compare? Initiative, bravery definitely has an edge, but the strength, the agility, heavily favored towards Elia. The toughness is similar. Huge edge for Elia in discipline, skill, leadership. So I think this is a fight we can win. Later on, 2v2, I think we'll still match up well. 3v3, maybe. 4v4, we got to pull out all the stops. So Nisus is a team that I think we can beat head-to-head, but just barely. If we take 3 out of 4 against them, I think we win the league. If we go 2-2, could come down to kills. We go 4-0, obviously. We've comfortably got it, and we could go undefeated this season, potentially, though there might be a surprise or two. But if we only take 1 out of 4, I could see them winning the league. I could see them sweeping through and beating everybody if they can stay healthy with this group. Plancina only has 2 fights left, so she's not going to be around much longer. But Penrod, in for the long haul. Thurza, only 6 more fights for her, and that's criminal, so it doesn't matter win or loss, just 6 more fights. Cthulhu is another one that's going to be around a long time, though does not have leadership. In fact, their whole squad lacks leadership. There's Penrod. They did pull out the stops and brought one of their 2 best fighters. Speed, stamina, leadership, all very low. Let's just go ahead and go direct. Try to lock them down. Heavy damage to the right foot right off the bat. Nicely done. Though we do not have control, so let's be smart here. 53 torso. Really pressing the advantage early on, and their energy already low through just 2 attacks. Speed and stamina. Stamina ridiculously low. Okay. Ooh, lucky we won that one. The net would have taken, we would have been down to a single point on control. We get each other that time. So far so good for Elia though. She's got a significant advantage. You can see how their energy already dropping. Trying to rest. That's not going to do them much good. Continue the torso. I don't know how we're not taking control here, but 57 torso, and that's it. Battle of the 2 leading teams opens with us. 1-0 on the season against them. That was good. That was very good. Next up is the next closest. 6-3 Cordoba. Arminum kind of in a similar place to where they were a season ago. They actually have a better record than Italia, but Italia has 2 kills, which gives them equal points. And Araminum has lost more, even though they've technically won 1 more. So besides Nisus, if anybody else is going to put up a fight, it's going to be Cordoba. And we'll find out here in what should be a 2v2. Oh boy, they don't even have any 1 to choose from. They really don't have anyone to choose from. This will be comfortable. So we'll bring Animatia out. Get her going again, and then continue to use up the final fights that Demisha has. Yep, okay. This rogue will have an advantage, but if you add 25% to 5, we're talking about a 6 here. So, not a threat. Not worried about the matchups the way they're set. Let's go ahead and confirm placement, be aggressive, and let's take them out. 45 to the right arm immediately on Ollie. In what could be the longest fight I have ever had. This thing just goes on and on. It's a 3v3. It's not even a 4v4. But losing our top fighter early because she lost some blood and dropped unconscious. We've been fighting from behind, and then just as it looked like things might be turning in our favor, they went the exact opposite direction, and we again have had to kind of battle from behind. They got the 2-on-1 advantage and never properly addressed that, never pressed that advantage, and so we were able to equal the odds, go 1v1. Lateus has not done well here. He's not strong, and he lacks discipline, so he's often gone against my orders, and he has often inflicted very little damage, even though he's been able to press again and again. No agility, so we're getting the hits in over and over. She's got very, very low stamina, very low speed. So again, we keep getting the advantage, but we just can't quite press it. I'm finding, though, that it's now becoming about morale. So morale is kind of the key, and so it's not about the sword thrust, because Lateus doesn't inflict any damage, has no strength. So the key to Lateus and the key to this fight is outlasting Thalka and breaking down her morale. So no more sword thrusts. We want to land the blows again and again and hurt Thalka's morale. So that's the key. Scratch, 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 scratch. And then maybe we can win this thing. It helps if we actually land a hit, though. Stamina is absolutely an advantage for us. There it is. There it is. We did it. We survived. We survived the hardest battle we've had in the 4th Division by far, 3-2, and it was Araminum. Of all the teams, it was Araminum. Now, the worrying thing is Adnamisha, the severed finger, unconscious. She's going to be out again. It was her second fight since coming back from another injury in a victory. Here, again, victory, but again, injured. Domisha, don't care too much about, because we can either eliminate her contract if she's going to be out for a while, or she'll be back for just a couple fights left. Lateus ready to level up. Animation does improve, though she is out. And let's check in. What's the damage? Animation. Severed index finger, 40 days, so she'll be out for just over a month. That's not good. Minus 15 on the weapon skill. That's terrible, because that's already her weakness. Domisha, just 2 fights left, only out for 2 weeks, so she'll be back soon. We'll get her through those last couple fights soon enough and get her on her way. And Lateus, who only has 4 more fights, we're trying to use them up as well, ready to level up, just a 2.5 star. It's nice to have our weak fighters be a little bit better than what they were before, like Fred. We used Fred for a long time. I like the Inspire. Let's take that. And new fighters available. Melanie's no good. Johnny's no good. Charlie, not good. Solid. Fair, but some abysmals, some non-existence. That's a mixed bag, and I do not think they will be as good as they look. Marie might be okay, but we're looking at bad to start, and 3.5 stars is not worth it. Joey might be a 3-3, but he might also be less than that. Won't be worth it there. Not good enough there. A 2/3.5 for 4 fights. No, thank you. And we do have a 3.5 star option, but already 43 years of age, and would cost us more than we can afford right now. Would not be worth it. So no new additions this time through, but we do survive top of the league. Nice is 4 points behind at this point. We've done 11 fights. We've won 11. That was a pretty tough fight for us, though. A pretty big struggle. Divadurum, Corduba, both at 7 and 4, and then Araminum is in that 5th slot, and that was a pretty tough fight that they put us up to. I mean, for sure. I'm relieved we came out on top. I'm relieved that we did not lose anyone to anything major. Animatia, that hurt. I might have supported her a little bit better on that one, anticipating that they would put their best 3. They did put their best 3 in, and their best 3 almost was good enough when we did not put in our top selections. That is going to do it for this episode, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to hit that like button, and I'll see you next time as we continue our journey with Monday, Friday from now on. See you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there, and bye for now.